Hi, I'm Avas. I'm a senior cloud engineer here at BlackBerry QNX, and today we're going to be going through QNX in the cloud. Essentially what we have is the QNX OS that we currently have and what we're all familiar with in our devices, in our vehicles. We have the exact same image only available in the cloud, and we're calling it QNX Accelerate. So essentially it's the virtualization of a QNX instance that you'll see. It gives us the benefit of not worrying about hardware. So whereas if you are a developer and you need to perform testing, you don't have to worry about obtaining certain architectures of boards and worrying about cores and RAM. Whereas on the cloud, you can just simply select it and it's all dynamic, and you don't have to worry about shipping hardware to developers if you've got developers around the world. So here so the demo here shows how we utilize the virtual machine and also a local instance of QNX loaded on this Raspberry Pi. And this shows us how we can benefit and utilize the cloud infrastructure to communicate with the devices. So you can see here on the right, we're actually connected to the Graviton instance in AWS. So that's the virtual machine. The reason we're showing this is so you can actually see the usage and actually operating, performing the task that we send it to. But also as a developer who will be using Momentix as a tool, as an IDE, there's no difference in what they see as a device, whether it be virtual or physical. So on here, we're going to connect to the AMI instance, so the virtual machine. So when we connect, all we're doing is making a connection to the cloud environment, letting them know who we are and what device we want to interact with. Down here, these are some pre-select jobs, but the point of this is that we can expand them and they can be anything we want it to be, any commands we want. It's just some presets for the demo. Pre-populated as well. Just change this to so it runs quicker. Ooh. Yeah, so on here we can, these are parameters for the job. We can add more to them. We can change the values of them of whatever we want. And then we can send the job to the cloud. So this is actually sending the payload to the cloud. The cloud is forwarding that to the QNX instance. The QNX will do its processing and then respond back to the cloud and then inevitably back to the user. So which it has. So here we can download the results file. Just open that. And yeah, and that's the result from the AMI instance. And we can do exactly the same with the Raspberry Pi that we got down here, which is also running QNX. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to connect to it, send the same job, same parameters. So that's doing the same thing. It's sending it to the cloud. The cloud is then forwarding that to the device. And then the device responds, and we can download that and see the results for that too. So we can see they're quite similar. In terms of performance, obviously there's a bit of a difference since the hardware on the virtual machine is a bit better, a bit faster. But essentially the behavior is the same. So it just shows that the QNX in the cloud is no different to QNX in, say, a vehicle. But we can build on this platform and send many commands to the devices without having to maybe SSH into it, needing a specific IDE like Momentix to configure and run commands, and also worrying about how we extract data from the QNX instance. Whereas here it's all self-managed, you just tell it what you want and it will respond with the result.